Warning. The following video clip contains strong language and has therefore been rated 18 plus by the YouTube NECCA. Viewer discretion is advised.
سبحان فالق الإصباح.
Ding dong. Hello?
Yes, that's right, infidels. You found us here, channelattitude.com, Hameen Media Group, where you get the most real talk, the best reviews of all your favorite wrestling shows from AEW and WWE, Impact, and more, because we're going to break it all down with the best staff in professional wrestling at HMG. So you don't need to go anywhere else, because there's no 5 stars here. There's only $5 face slaps, infidel. Allahu Akbar! So sign up today, channelattitude.com, Hameen Media Group, and join the Hameen Army for the most real talk in professional wrestling. YOLO!
It's Friday! You know what that means! A new era of professional wrestling starts right now with AEW Rampage! I said I demand a thank you! What the hell? Good God Almighty, the rope just came off! John Moxley! I don't think he's here to say thanks. Brothers and Young Bucks have been through a war. The thunder and the lightning of John Moxley leaving his mark. Good God Almighty, the referee down.
Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to Story Time with Adam Cole. That guy.
Darby Allin. He'll take a chance. Put up the goal.
Hello everyone and welcome to the HMG Rampage Un Caged show right here on channelattitude.com. I'm your host Jimmy T and my usual co-hosts are back. I've got Chris, I've got Jeff, but first, Chris, give him your introduction, my friend.
I will give them my introduction. I am Christopher Ambs. That's AMBS, like Lambs with no L, or bullshit first thing in the morning. If you ever forget, I'll just fucking remind you. Yeah, I'm back, and I'm happy to be back with my fellow cohorts. That's the second time I'm seeing Jeff today, as we just recorded an episode of The Garden of Doom, where I became the first six-time guest of the Garden of Doom.
Oh, very nice, very good.
True.
Speaking
True
of Garden of Doom, absolutely, I'm actually looking forward to listening to it. Has it been released yet, Jeff?
No.
Hurry up and release it, God damn it. God damn it.
I'm going to release it next weekend.
Give me a,
But
like
there will be an
exclusive.
intermezzo. There'll be a midweek Garden dropped as well.
Oh, interesting. Well, as you just heard, it is the Gunner of Doom himself. It is the evil one. It is Dr. Jeff Lippman. Welcome back to Rampage Un Caged right here on channelattitude.com via Hameen Media Group.
Thanks for the warm welcome. Hello, everyone. I just want to admit that I was wrong about QT Marshall. I don't know anything about the inner workings of the professional wrestling business. he was right. I was wrong. This is clearly working.
Wow. That's a first. I can't believe I just heard it.
Yeah.
I mean, geez. Well, boys, you know what? I want to say this. I actually didn't mind Rampage, oddly enough, this week. I mean, I think it was a little bit better than usual. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know, man. But I kind of enjoyed it. Chris, did you like it? I mean, look, it kind of sucks still, but it was better than usual, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a good episode of Sunday Night Heat. It was skippable, but if you didn't skip it, you probably saw some things that were pretty decent. There was at least one relatively solid match, although if you've seen a Pentagon match, you've seen this match. But other than that, yeah, it was, like I said, it was mostly skippable, but it wasn't... I didn't want to pull out my teeth while I was watching it, we'll put it that way.
Yeah, well, that's exactly how I felt. Jeff, did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, for a Rampage, I mean, all 4 quarters were okay. I mean, you know, so oftentimes things are terrible. I thought that there was only one thing that was particularly terrible tonight, and it didn't really overshadow the overall segment. But you know, it was okay. I mean, there was a couple things I'm like, why? But you know, but that's typical for wrestling. But I thought it was, yeah, for an hour, not bad. I mean, it wasn't like back in the heyday where it was like the most digestible hour of the week, but pretty good.
It's true, actually. Like I said, I went back on a couple of old Rampages just in the background, and they were the first few were brilliant compared to what we have these days. But hey, as long as we get some sort of consistent, half decent shows, I'm happy, man. So, because at one stage we're getting a lot of crap, like every week. They were serving us absolute garbage. But I mean, look, it's okay, that's for sure. We got our first comment, and it is from Jinder. We needed more of Vikingo on Rampage. Yeah.
No, he's on Berserker.
You know, like I said, I was telling Chris, he reminds me of that Dreamcast game called Seaman. Literally, Seaman. No, really. It was a Seaman. Like, literally. From your balls, Jeff. Yes, don't be shocked. It was a game about Seaman. And it looks like...
I remember when I created Aphrodite.
Well, no shit. Put Vikingo's head on that sperm, and I kid you not, it'll be perfect. I'm telling you.
So is this like a PSA you saw in middle school or something?
No. It's an actual video game on Sega Dreamcast. I was in school during that time, back in 1999, as a matter of fact.
There was a game where there was semen?
I kid you.
It's a Greek game, Jeff.
It's not a Greek game.
Say no more.
Right?
I got it. I'm clear
It's
now.
a Japanese game, Chris. You prick. Motherfucker. You prick. Both of you hanging shit on me. No, it was Semenopolis, alright? Thermopolis. No, it was Simonides, actually, Jeff.
Simonides in your Thermopylae?
No, I am Thermopylae, exactly. Anyway, enough of the Greek talk. Let's actually get into Rampage anyway. Hey, I don't know why you motherfuckers always give us Greeks the stigma of taking it or giving it.
If you weren't so easy to bother, we wouldn't bother you.
Anyway, I don't even want to get into fucking anal penetration, shall we say? All right, fellas.
Thanks for the memo.
This is the wrong show, or is it, for that kind of talk? But anyway, boys, speaking of penetrating...
Was until now.
It's funny, I don't know if it's like a slip of the tongue or what, but he just said he doesn't want to get into anal penetration. I'm just saying.
You know, well,
I'm Greek, but not that Greek, Chris.
As we would say in court, the witness just opened the door.
And you know, the reason why you guys don't give me shit about it is because if you tell a German, hey, you know what's weird is you guys like poop. Most Germans
don't. I hate that shit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, wunderwelt. Jesus Christ.
Well,
no more shit jokes. We don't have Vince McMahon over here. God damn it. He loves fucking a good poo joke.
Right, don't do that unless you might invoke Homeboy 88 again to do his
impersonation. No, lately he's been a prick. Well, actually, Jinder says semen is a virtual pet video game. See, there you go.
Don't talk that way about our fans and friends.
For the Sega Dreamcast, it is one of the few Dreamcast games that take advantage of the microphone attachment, and the game developed a cult following for its dark humor. There you go. Thank you, Jinder. Well, anyway, my point is, picture Vikingo's head
I'm
on
done
the
with
semen.
the game.
Trust me, you'll laugh if you saw it. Anywho, let's get. No, believe me, you would. Let's get
By
into
the way,
it.
speaking of Homeboy 88, he just did a really great show on cannabis. Actually, not the
Really?
substance, the rapper. It's a really good show. Yeah.
Oh, on Cannabis the rapper, who LL Cool J was trying to absolutely destroy.
On 4321. Yeah.
Yeah, but then he came out and destroyed him, and then I felt like he got blackballed,
Pretty much. That's how it happened.
which sucks
Anyway.
because he is a good rapper.
He's one of the best ever. But anyway, let's talk about Rampage before Jeff just logs himself off.
That's a good.
That wouldn't be too bad, Chris. I mean, come on.
I know, that's a win-win for everyone.
It's a win-win, exactly. Anyway, we do start off with a TNT Championship match. It is Will Hobbs, your champion, versus the goon, the Pentagoon himself. And I just want to say this, man. Pentagon is so far down the ladder right now. Like, I mean, I felt like he was getting embarrassed in this match, dude. I mean, I don't know, if I were him, I'd be like, oh, get me the fuck out of here. Go back to Impact. Go to MLW and do your wannabe Lucha Underground, whatever you want to call it over there. MLW Underground. But anyway, the point is, Hobbs wins. I felt like, you know, Hobbs was just embarrassing him the whole way through, including QT Marshall and his cronies on the outside. Chris, I don't know, man. Do you feel the same way?
Not particularly, but I actually think that it should have been even more one-sided. I think that as good as Pentagon might be, right now the story is that they're trying to build Powerhouse Hobbs as a big deal. He's the champion. This is just his second defense of the championship. And yeah, right now is the time for whoever's facing Will Hobbs to pony up and sell, motherfucker. That's your job.
Pony up indeed. Jeff, how do you feel about about Pentagon, and more importantly, should have Hobbs pretty much squashed Pentagon in this match?
No, I don't think he should have squashed him, but I think the first half of the match was probably about what it should have been. The second half, there was too much, and it's not about. I don't think this has anything to do with Pentagon. This is Hobbs' story. In fact, I agree with Chris that Hobbs should have given less. And the one thing I hated in this show was that Hobbs won by cheating. Basically, with the Stooges came in, he should have won clean, like and he's already winning like the Miz with using the belt to beat Pentagon. I don't think that makes Hobbs look strong. Chris said they're building up Hobbs to look strong. What he meant is they should be building up Hobbs to look strong, and I don't think they're doing him any favors. And I appreciate that they don't want to squash Phoenix or Pentagon, but the match against Phoenix was competitive, but he won. This match probably should have been more of a squash. But no, they're building towards. First of all, Phoenix comes out with that timekeeper hammer. As I recall, he was the only one
little hammer like this.
Yeah, exactly. Like what he's been keeping that around for 2.5 months.
Maybe they get jiggy with it. You know what I'm saying?
But this is just going to get us to a tag team match where eventually the faces go over on either QT or Aaron Solo, and like, who cares? And that also does nothing for Hobbs. He should continue to win. I'd rather him do the laziest thing of all, the open challenge, and they have like jabronis, come out or whatever. But this pairing with QT Marshall stinks. Hobbs on his own and a more dominant win. Not a lot more, not a squash, but it
wasn't a squash, but it was dominant. You're right, but it wasn't a squash, right?
No, I mean there were some near falls against Hobbs, and again he had to cheat with the assistance of two guys, and he hit Pentagon with the belt. That I think that's weak sauce. And the fear with AEW is they pair you with people, and instead of it enhancing anyone, it waters down the featured person, and that's what it's done here so far. So obviously, my little headline.
What do you think about the possibility? What do you think about the possibility that they might be building to a match with Pac instead of a tag match?
That's hard to tell, really, right now, Chris, because you just don't know with AEW where they're trying to go. I mean, at first, think about it. We had Hobbs walking the streets of Oakland, like on repeat, pretty much, snitching on everybody in his hood, and now that story has gone nowhere. I mean, he walked to nowhere, or he walked to the factory and then it closed down, and now we're doing TMZ. I mean, this is stupid, man.
I am afraid. I mean, they did mention Death Triangle for the first time in a while because of the hammer. So, I mean, So that tells me that there might be a trios match where the faces eventually win, probably pinning Aaron Solo or QT Marshall, but who needs this? I don't know what this means for the Lucha Brothers on Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor. I still think because they are the absolute least Ring of Honor team in on that card, and because they've never, ever, 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 ever been on Ring of Honor that that I'm aware of, period, that they're the favorites to win, and that's why they're doing all the losing now, because they'll get some more meaningless titles. But
Pathetic.
I mean, we see plenty of people weekly on AEW television that also have champions on Ring of Honor because they're totally different promotions.
Oh, totally. Absolutely. I mean, can't you see? One's got red ropes, one's got red, white, and blue ropes now. I mean, totally different. But, like I said, though, man, and you bring up an interesting point, right, Chris? But the thing is, let's be real. I mean, none of us can really answer that because you don't know where they're trying to go. You might think you do.
We don't know where Pac is.
Well, yeah, where is Pac? Chris, do you know?
Not a clue. Same place he's been for the last 3 years. He's here for a couple weeks, and then he's gone for a month, and then he's here for a week, and then he's gone for 3 weeks, and
then he's
here.
Gone
he's
for 2
gone.
months.
I don't have him here. I just checked.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Are you sure? Check all your pockets. He's very small.
I mean, what is a puck? Can anyone tell me what's a puck? Is it a puck or a pack?
He's a bastard.
But his
It's
name is
exactly
Puck.
like a pack, except with an X and definitely not a 6.
It's just really, when you really think about it, he's a bastard, but he's one dumb bastard, and there goes me. Fuck you, El Gato, you fucking cunt. Anyway, continue on though. Yeah, El Gato can seek my dicko.
Okay.
But anyway,
Not
Chris,
sure how it's gonna find your dicko since you're black now, buddy. You're completely.
What? Excuse me.
Completely
It doesn't matter if you're black or white, Chris. It doesn't matter. But anyway,
Doesn't
Your
matter
screen happens to be black and white. Doesn't
Goodbye.
matter. Not just my shirt.
well, anyway, like I said, I don't know what the deal is with Pac or Puck, whatever you want to call him, but this is silly, and he's one of the highest paid guys in the company. I mean, Jeff, is he in England or is he somewhere in the States, you think?
You keep asking the same question. I don't know where he is. I don't know what his status is. I don't know what the plans are. I mean, what Chris is saying, makes sense. And because they mentioned death trial, you triangle. I keep saying trial.
Yeah, what's
it
that?
seems like we're heading for tag team and then 6-man matches, which is absolutely no way to get a single star, single champion featured and being portrayed as a champion. It's exactly the wrong way to do it, but that's exactly what they did with Wardlow. It's exactly what they typically do. So, of course, that's most likely what's going to happen. But I don't know. If I knew what was going on with Pac, I could have my own dirt sheet.
Good point. That's true. Well, wherever he is, hopefully he does come back. I mean, he does get paid I think over $1 million apparently in AEW. If that's the case,
you're spitting a lot of information. I don't know where you're getting this from.
About this. No, he's one of the highest paid dudes apparently. And if that's true, he's got the best fucking job. I mean, have a few matches.
Who's your tzatziki sauce?
Tzatziki is my sauce, bro.
Okay,
literally, that's who my sauce is. And bolognese, bolognese sauce is also my sauce. It's true. Yeah,
He likes
double
balls.
sauced
He likes balls and cucumber sauce. That's cool.
That's right. You double sauced it like a true journalist. Good job.
Yeah, true journalist, the truest of the journos. But anyway, no, I didn't do balls. I said bolognese. That's just minced meat. Just quietly.
Jinder just gave me trademark pending.
What is that?
Lippman's lip service with all wrestling gossip.
You're welcome. Hashtag that.
Actually, you know what? It's as good as QTV. So.
Oh, man.
None of us dislike the QTV concept, or even, and the execution isn't great, but Hobbs just doesn't belong there.
No, and see why? That's another thing. Why would Hobbs really be like, yeah, man, I'm gonna hang around with you losers, and you guys can help me win?
It's the exact same problem that Adam Page had with the Dark Order. It's like this group brings you down. It actually makes you seem less cool because everybody who's watching you run around with these guys is going, why?
I mean, they literally have characters where their gimmick is to think that they're stars and they're not. I mean, they have a guy named Hollywood Nick Namath. They have Dalton Castle could be in there. I know he's technically a Ring of Honor guy, but I mean, it's not like they don't have a million people who, you know, have gimmicks as being ostentatious. They can stick any one of them in here and it would make more sense. I mean, he did. Not that he has this character, but you could make it Hollywood Griff Garrison, you know, with Flying Brian Pillman, like, and you have him wear Versace shirts like the Rock, and you know, see if something works for these low card guys. But you know, but QTV wasn't even on this week, though. I will say that her name is Harley Cameron. We didn't, so they did mention her name several times today, and
Holly Cameron.
Yeah, I was admiring the cut of her jib.
Yeah, I mean, has she got any professional wrestling history, actually, Jeff? Did you look that up at all, or no?
No, that's not what I looked up.
Okay. Touche. Anyway, yeah, look, it went too long, though, like you guys said. It is what it is, but let's move on, because next we see Kenny Omega, actually, as a matter of fact, who will defend the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship on Dynamite against Jeff Cobb. And I guess we get another Forbidden Door as a challenger this week on Dynamite. So are you guys pumped for it? I mean, I don't really care, but I am a Kenny fan. Whatever. We'll see. I'm sure Kenny's going to win anyway. Jeff, how do you feel about this?
When was the last time they mentioned that he was the IWGP US Heavyweight Champion?
When he won it?
Right.
Yeah, when he won it, essentially.
The one show after he won it, I forgot he was that champion. I just assumed he had lost it since, because he's never worn it on TV or even made reference to it. And when they've had other New Japan champions, they typically wear the titles as often as possible. They made a big deal of Lance Archer holding it for those 3 weeks. They FTR usually carried around the 3 belts, not always, but usually carried around the 3 belts, and they made mention of it. So I had completely forgotten. Listen, I like Jeff Cobb. I have fond memories of him from Lucha Underground and Ring of Honor and other places. You know, he looks like a beast until you see him next to regular professional wrestlers. I mean, he's thick as hell, but he's actually shorter than Kenny. And this, you know, no, I'm not excited. I mean, I don't have anything really against the match. I just think that 2 weeks back to back, when Kenny's supposed to be a story, is sort of goofy. However, I'll say this: during last week when they had the match, they did build the story sort of around it and adjacent to it. So if they continue to do that, you know, that's fine. And I sort of liked how they did a recap, focusing in on sort of, you know, Kenny not being happy and Don Callis, you know, clearly something fishy is going on with Don Callis. So, you know, I wonder if Kenny Omega actually watches the product, because he would see that for himself. But you know, this is okay. I don't mind. You know,
or just has Twitter, or has a friend who has Twitter, or has a girlfriend who has Twitter, or just anyone around him in his life that has Twitter.
Well, Riho deactivated her Twitter account. Listen, they didn't call this a dream match. So
plausible deniability, Jeff.
Right. So yeah, it's fine.
Plausible deniability. Oh boy. I mean, let's be honest though, guys. I don't know. I feel like they over advertise. I mean, it's good that they're advertising Dynamite. Don't get me wrong, but like,
what can I ask you? Why did you pick that picture to put in your frame?
Why?
Oh, I didn't mean that because that's Moxley. That's the blood man himself, John Moxley.
I know who it is. The other one's Timothy Thatcher. I'm not. That's not what I asked you. I didn't ask you who they were. I asked you.
Why did you choose a picture of 2 men kissing for your avatar, Jimmy?
Why are 2 wrestlers, 2 men kissing in the first fucking place? You tell me.
Because they like each other. I mean, when 2 people fall in love, I mean, shouldn't somebody else have handled this conversation for you?
When a mommy and when a daddy and a daddy fall in love.
I mean, you spent a lot of time denying your Greekness, and then you picked the Greekest picture you could find beyond the guy from.
I don't know why you guys give me so much shit about the whole Greek being gay thing. Oh, here I'm gonna.
What's next? Pictures of Joey Ryan and the guy putting a syringe in his dick last night at the indie show.
What? First of all, I've seen you touch Joey Ryan's dick. and you had fun doing it.
You saw me touch Joey Ryan's
Yeah, I
dick?
saw you. I saw you touching it.
Excuse me?
No. Excuse me.
I mean, is that like I saw Grandma kissing Santa Claus?
Possibly. I mean, that's a big possibility. But anyway,
You
let's
take that
go
back.
away. Let's get away from that forbidden door,
slander.
shall we?
Apparently, an
Yeah.
awful lot of very young girls saw Joey Ryan touching Joey Ryan's dick. So there's that. Too.
Well, I wasn't talking about young girls.
I would rather you call me a very young girl than say that I touched Joey Ryan.
And look how serious he looks while saying it too. You fucking funny man. Anyway, let's get away from the forbidden doors, shall we? We get Ricky Starks next, though, who called out Juice Robinson. Rock hard, Juice Robinson, that is. There we go with the penis references once again. To a fight. Juice was more than willing to serve an ass kicking to that sweet little boy that he called him, but he refused to do it in lowly Missouri. Juice wanted the bright lights and the big stage of New York City, you fucking idiot. Long Island is not New York City, just quietly. And anyway, when Dynamite visits Long Island on April 5th, Jeff, are you stoked?
No,
For
I mean, this
Pretty
is
Ricky
Ricky Starks
against
called him out
Rockhard.
last week, so why does he need to
Right.
call him out again? And then Juice Robinson does the standard heel thing, but he actually saying, "Yeah, I'll fight you, but no, I'm not going to fight you now and here." But Juice Robinson is a weird. First of all, Rock Hard is so weird when he's anything but. And I mean, does it bother anyone else that he sort of looks a little bit like he could be Mark Briscoe's brother, but he speaks exactly like Dalton Castle? It's just weird. It's like they found someone for a Ring of Honor parody, and he's like doing two characters and doesn't know which one to do. I just found the whole thing extraordinarily weird. And this was and Juice is there in the crowd next to like some old man.
No.
They're like the same size.
Did you see that weird dude that was in the background, right behind him? He was pretty much leaning back on him, who had all these fucking marks across his face, dude. I don't know if it was a rash or it was fucking you got slapped by somebody, but he looked like a real dork, a junkie dork at that. Chris, I don't know. Did you spot him?
I did. That's what happens when you perform wrestling matches in Missouri. No, but listen, if I had a contract that allowed me to state that I didn't have to wrestle in one state, Missouri would probably be like the third state I would pick. I think California would probably be the first one. Just keep me away from that state. But Missouri wouldn't be very far behind, to be honest with you. So
Well,
I understand where Juice Robinson was coming from.
Well, he's part of the Rock Hard Club, Chris. Yeah, literally. But I just wanted to point out, I was telling you last week or the week before that the Winnipeg fan base is a bit on the feral side, if you know what I'm saying. But I think Missouri is...
There were some wrestling grannies in the crowd, yep.
Yeah, well, I think Missouri is actually overtaken Winnipeg now as officially the ugliest crowd in wrestling right now. I mean, that was a pretty ugly crowd, I'm just saying. But anyway, yeah, we're getting Rock Hard against Ricky Starks. Before I do move on, though, is it just me?
But not for 3 weeks. Why was this now?
Yeah, that was dumb. That really annoyed me too, man. That's a good point out. I was supposed to point that out myself too, but I forgot about it. But you're right. I don't know why. Because we probably won't even see Rock Hard Juice Robinson for another 2 weeks anyway.
Or Ricky Starks now. I mean, what's
It's basically so that Juice Robinson can be on every show for the next 3 weeks, show up and say, "Well, you guys want to see me wrestle? No, I don't want to wrestle in this town either. Fuck you."
No, but for real though, guys, was it just me or did it feel like Ricky Starks looks frustrated, dude? I mean, Jeff, did he look frustrated? Because he did to me.
Yeah, but I mean, we said this was going to happen when they had Ricky Starks win that tournament and be MJF's first challenger, and everyone's like, they're pushing Ricky Starks. I'm like, no, they're pushing him into a no-win thing because he can't possibly win this match. Then what? And listen, the one thing I'll say is that the feud with the Jericho Appreciation Society didn't go 9 months like I expected it to. Not that it might not come back.
Relax. Don't say that because it could.
Right. But it's still, this is a nothing thing. And, if you don't think that these advertisements for Bullet Club doesn't mean that there's going to be, a bigger infusion of Bullet Club, or they're not trying to get that done for, Forbidden Door. I don't know who Ricky
Right.
Starks' allies are going to be if they're not the Elite, but I suppose it could be, Hook and Jungle Boy, and maybe the other pillars. Maybe they'll have all of the pillars against the Bullet Club. I don't know. I mean, especially since some of them are heels and some of them are faces, so maybe that could be sort of interesting. I actually kind of like that idea now that I've said it out loud. Not that I like Jungle Boy no matter what, but it might be an interesting dynamic. And I think arguably Ricky Starks could be considered. I mean, if those other guys can be considered a pillar, then so can he, especially Jungle Boy and Sammy Guevara. But I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, I do think that Ricky is frustrated. This was a stupid segment. He called the guy out last week, and what they're trying to do is have him look like The Rock with fancy shirts with the buttons open
And the loafers too.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Ridiculous. Chris, did he look frustrated?
Yeah, definitely. And I think that there probably is some frustration in the back right now. I think that whatever happened with CM Punk there, I think that that's not an isolated incident. I think that there are probably lots of guys in the backstage who either are frustrated because they have to lose to people who have just come in, or there are people who have just come in who are saying, listen, I know I was in WWE, but don't fucking judge me on that. I'm here now. Now I'm your talent. Use me properly. So I think that there's a lot of that going on backstage right now. At least that's sort of the vibe I'm getting from AEW in general, is that there's a lot of people frustrated with how things are being booked. And I think that, yeah, if I'm Ricky Starks, like, I was pushed to a place where, okay, like you said, Jeff, there's no way he's going to beat MJF for that title, but there's a way to elevate a guy by losing, and they didn't do that. They just put him in the feud with Chris Jericho afterwards, and then had him job not only to Jericho, but he jobbed to, was it Sammy or Daniel? I don't even fucking remember which one it was.
It was
who
Garcia.
beat him in that match.
It was Garcia, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so he jobbed to Garcia as well as Chris Jericho in that feud. That's not how you elevate a guy.
I think Sammy Guevara too. I mean, there were definitely some. I mean, listen, they were never clean wins, but I remember distinctly once Garcia hit him in the head with a bat.
Yeah,
but,
probably right.
And the thing is but again, the thing is like, I don't really care. Like, people can say, well, it doesn't matter because it was it wasn't a clean loss. No, it does matter. It's like saying that 3 weeks before Adam Cole challenged for the world championship, him losing to Orange Cassidy doesn't count because it was a lights out match. No, it fucking counts. If I had to see it, it counts.
Yeah. That's and they use that excuse too much, and it becomes way too predictable. I mean, the other thing with Ricky Starks that I wonder about, and I don't know if there's anything to it, but I'm not sure that Tony Khan hasn't refused to look him in the eye ever since he was with Cody at the Royal Rumble, and Cody's tweeted about him, and I could see Tony Khan going passive aggressive and going from awkward embraces to sort of not looking exactly at you.
Well, if you heard
saying, "Hey Tony, I'd like to talk about my segment tonight," he goes, Dean, can you handle this one? I'll talk to you later, Ricky. QT, can you handle this one? Thanks.
It's bizarre, dude. And I think you're right, though, Jeff. I do think he's caught some heat, actually, because of his Royal Rumble appearance. And apparently, if rumors are to be believed, apparently he was trying to sue the security company that works at the arena at where was it, in San Antonio, at the Alamo Dome.
Okay. Good luck on that one. Since when did security have a confidentiality with people who walked into a building? The whole point of security is to see who's in the building.
Well, it's true. I mean, I agree, but look, it's probably bullshit. But that's what was being reported at one stage.
Nobody tries to sue; they sue. Whether or not they succeed or not is a whole different thing. It isn't hard to sue. You just file the goddamn papers. And pay whatever the court costs are, and pay a sheriff or a private process server to serve it on them. And since it's a company, they probably have a corporate resident agent, so you can just do it by certified mail. It ain't nothing but a thing. So, if he tried to sue, he would have succeeded by now. I mean, I'm sure someone said that was a dumbass idea, and why keep the story up when literally every day in wrestling there's a new story that's more interesting than that one.
Yeah, no, you're right. Todd Brownlee in the chat says, can you blame him? If I was Starks, I'd be frustrated too. True. That's very true. He also says, why did you think Miro hasn't come back yet? He'd rather stay home and play video games than lose to somebody in a meaningless match or storyline. I don't blame him. I mean, I think at this point, Todd, he's either trying to get himself released or I don't know what else to think of.
Well, Todd, I would refer you to our extra show that we did yesterday. Right. We talked about Miro extensively.
No, for sure, we did. Well, you guys did more so than anything. Chris,
Yo.
What do you think? Do you think Miro is trying to get released anyway?
Well, again, like I said yesterday that I think that if he had his druthers, that's probably what he would want. Yeah. But that's not going to happen, dude. You've got 3 years left on a contract and you're a marketable, like, wrestler. There's no way the guy who's got you in a contract is going to just say, okay, go ahead. We'll let you go. We'll do the nice thing and let you go. I mean, I know Tony Khan comes off like a fucking idiot, but there's got to be at least somebody around going, Tony, no.
Well, they did.
Because
after the CM Punk thing, remember, they like right away CM Punk was going to be released, and then he was going to release Buddy Matthews. And also, oh, by the way, Buddy Matthews was the one who was supposed to lose last week to Danny Garcia, but Buddy Matthews was pulled from that match with an injury. I don't know what the injury is. But then he was going to release Buddy Matthews and Aleister Black or Malachi Black. And then all of a sudden, someone must have said, Tony, if you start releasing these other people and you don't release CM Punk, then he's going to claim bad faith. So then Tony said, I'm not releasing anyone. Because before he said, no one's going to be held in this company against their will. And then he said, I'm not releasing anyone early from their contract. So Chris is right. Listen, he's hemorrhaging money, but he's got, about as much money as one can imagine. So he doesn't need to make any money unless he's getting undue influence from his father. But I'm sure even if he was, if he said, Dad, why don't I just buy you out and give you, 7% interest on your investments? Well, I'll go, sure, whatever. I mean, what does he care? It was $33 million for a guy who's worth $11.5 billion.
So yeah. So do you think he's willing to pay these guys, like including Punk and Miro, for the next, say, 3 years that they're under contract, and it doesn't bother him? I mean, cool. If I was one of them guys, I'd be more than happy to just sit at home and get paid millions. But I mean, it's just kind of weird that, he would still pay these guys their contracts.
I think, listen, I can't pretend to be in Tony Khan's head, but if there's, first of all, I mean, 50%, I think, he's willing to pay them because he may have some idea for them at some point or may want to use them or whatever the case may be, or they just may get tired of waiting. 2, if there's a rational side to him, it might be that he's hoping for, that big renewal that everybody thinks that he's going to get from Discovery, Warner Brothers. And if he does, then he thinks he's going to maybe be able to make a profit on it. And at that point, maybe he'll decide what to do to get this show into the black. And maybe that involves some releases, or maybe that involves pushing some different people or whatever it is. We know he's trying to get more TV. There was a big story for a while that he was getting a third hour at 6:05 on Saturdays. People keep talking about it as if it's gospel, but nobody except Andrew Zarian reported. Everyone else just re-reported it. And it was supposed to be in March, then it was supposed to be in April, but March isn't over yet. Neither is April. So,
Well, like Medium5 says in the chat, yes, Jimmy, because Khan don't have balls. I actually agree. He doesn't. I was thinking that myself. I'm thinking, and I'm going to ask you this, Chris. Do you think he's that much of a little chicken shit, right, that he just doesn't have the nerve to approach Punk or approach Miro, and he's just still willing to pay him just so he doesn't have to deal with that shit because he's just a little wimp?
I guarantee you that Tony Khan handles 90% of the problems that he has in life by sending a legal letter. Guarantee you.
100% agree with you, man.
Yeah, I mean, if having no balls, the easiest thing to do would be to get rid of the problem entirely and not have to even have to
clip his
think
balls
about it.
off.
I mean, it isn't hard to release somebody. You just give them their notice. Well, I don't know what their contracts say, but I'm sure there's probably similar to WWE. I mean, it says there's no non-compete, so I guess you can just release them at will, or maybe there's no non-compete, but there's a severance. So I don't know what you mean. I don't know why you take the position that he has no balls because he won't confront them to release them. As Chris said, he doesn't need to confront them. He can have whatever counts as he can have Mega send a letter saying your service is no longer needed. You're released as of such and such date. Pursuant to your contract, you have no non-compete, but you're entitled to 60 days payout, and we will honor any royalties you've earned for the next X amount of time. Blah blah blah. Good luck to you in your future endeavors.
That's
or
not how you do business, though, Jeff. I mean, come
sure
on.
It is. Who says?
Yeah, but in this
WWE
game,
fired Punk on his wedding.
yeah, but Punk is a fucking idiot. Let's be honest here. I mean, come on. As much as I'm a fan of his, like as the wrestler, he's a fucking idiot, though.
I just don't understand. I mean, first of all, there are much better businesses where they do business exactly like that, and wrestling is about the worst business that's legal.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, it's true. It's a fair point. Look, the chat's going crazy. Like Medium 5 says he doesn't like confrontation. Yeah, but Jeff,
confrontation.
He says, yes, Jeff, but that's not Khan.
He doesn't have to do it himself. This is what I'm saying. He doesn't have to do anything himself.
Todd says they could also choose not to re-sign like Frankie Kazarian did. Right. That's also true. But why would you not? I mean, why would you want to get released when you're getting paid handsomely? I mean, Kazarian was probably getting paid, what, $100,000 if you're lucky in AEW? I mean, he was probably getting paid more. But really, when you look at the roster, I mean, he was on the low end.
I don't know. Listen, I can't put myself in the head of a professional performer. I would happily be paid to stay at home and do nothing 6 figures or possibly 7 figures and be able to twitch to my, whatever super chat friends or, whoever's giving me money and then occasionally go to autograph shows or whatever. And take an acting gig for a show that was never picked up by CBS or whatever the hell Miro does in his spare time. But I'm not him. But it seems from his disposition that he's mostly like me. Every now and then he says, that's not true, I want to do something. But they keep saying we kept giving him things to do and he doesn't want to do them. So
the Garden of Doom would be a fucking greenhouse of doom if Jeff was getting paid 6 figures to sit at home.
Damn right. Yeah, I'd have shows every day. I mean, for God's sake. Listen, I'd have
twice on Sundays.
Yeah.
Really?
Right.
Would you pay us though, Jeff?
What's the purpose of the Garden of Doom if not to ruin God's Sabbath day?
Exactly.
Wait, you would do it on Saturday then, wouldn't you, Jeff?
You know what? I would do it on every Sabbath day just to make sure that nobody was left out.
Just to make sure.
Well,
whatever God you have, fuck that one.
Right. Whoever they are, they're going to be offended by what I do.
Well, Medium 5 says he doesn't like blowback. Oh, yes, he does. He loves blow. Come on. Seriously,
right.
Exactly.
Wrong choice of word, media.
Yeah. You set yourself up for that one. Todd said he wasn't happy or felt he was being utilized to his potential. Why else would he leave to go back to Impact Wrestling?
Well, that must
Kazarian.
be Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah, I'm assuming
well, you know
Kazarian.
what? If Frankie Kazarian has the financial freedom to do so and that was important to him, good for him. I mean, listen,
More power
Frankie
to him.
Kazarian's a smart guy. I know he's been a member of
Is
the
he?
Screen Actors Guild since 2003. He's had insurance. He has benefits. He does small acting gigs. I don't even know how small they are, but he gets himself 3
He's
to 5
got the
acting
cigar
gigs.
company with Cody as well.
I have no idea, but whatever it
No, he
is,
does.
he wanted to have a more active role on TV while he could still do it in his career, and he took what Impact offered him, and if that's what he wants to do and he can afford it, then good for him. I mean, I always say about wrestling's a business. Take the money, but if you can afford to do what you want, chase your dreams. Even if I don't agree with your dreams, what do I care? I'm not the person.
Well, Chris, let's be honest, right? I mean, Kazarian's one smart guy. He went from, I guess, $100,000 to what, maybe $8,000 if he's lucky at Impact Wrestling. Very smart guy, true. I mean, seriously.
Well, I mean, listen, this is something that I've actually talked about recently a couple of times with a couple of different people, including my girlfriend, who just quit one of the 2 jobs that she had. And, we've talked about the idea of someone paying you for your misery. And that especially happens in the professional wrestling business, right?
Right.
There's lots of guys who say, okay, I am fucking unhappy. I do not like what I'm doing here. I don't like creative, blah, blah, blah. But the cash is good enough, so I'm going to let them pay me for my misery. But you do get to a certain point where it's just, no, you can't pay me enough for this shit.
Hey, and I've been part of that exact thing. Sometimes money doesn't matter, like if you're not happy. But please continue. Maybe another time. But continue on, Chris. Sorry.
Well, I mean, the idea is like, if somebody says, okay, listen, I'll pay you $5 million, but I get to torture you every day. No, I don't want it.
Right, exactly.
No, thanks. I wouldn't want to live that way. Even for $5 million in the bank, I wouldn't want to live that way.
But to be fair, that's just life, though. I mean, you get politics in every workplace. It is what it is.
Well, 100%. And there is a question. Yeah, I actually meant torture. But I'm saying, the thing about professional wrestlers, and I don't know that this is entirely wrong, I do kind of feel like a lot of people in professional wrestling nowadays are pretty goddamn soft compared to what professional wrestling used to be. I don't think most of those fucking guys could have made a living in the Attitude Era. I literally think that they would have cried themselves to sleep at night and left.
Boy. Jinder says $5 million to $500. Absolutely, that's money right there.
Hey,
money. I mean, shit. Media says also, I'll take the torture specifically if it's what Gail Gadot.
Wonder Woman, dude. Wonder Woman.
Okay, well, don't me up real fucking good and let's go, baby. Let's fucking go. Come on, that's TK's favorite term. Who?
Gal Gadot.
She's Israeli.
I don't fucking know. I don't even care. No, put it that way.
Gal Gadotolopoulos?
Jesus Christ. No, it's Gedelovitz or something like that.
Yeah, no, I think Gadot. She's French, but yeah, she's a model.
I do like Todd's latest comment. No thanks, watching AEW Rampage is torture enough.
No, it's not. Not compared to watching Ring of Honor. That's fucking torture, bro.
How would we know?
Well, we watched the first 3 episodes so far.
Yes, I know. I don't remember. I blocked them out mostly.
I've heard that happens with victims of torture.
Can't wait. I've got PTSD after watching Ring of Honor. Straight up, I really do. I'm not kidding. It gives me nightmares every day. But anyway.
Well, actually, you wouldn't know if you had PTSD yet, because PTSD is a disorder that happens for a longer amount of time after something traumatic happens than is normal. So since you just watched it a week ago, you wouldn't know if you have PTSD or just PTS.
And do you not have balls? Are you like Khan and you don't like confrontation? Are you not able to go to the Ayatollah and say, hey, I don't want to do this show no more?
Yeah. I'm TK level. Yeah. Fuck yous, man. Giving me shit to my accent, man, motherfuckers. Look, come on.
My balls are in my sulaki.
Jeff, seriously. Anyway,
what's wrong, Musaka?
You know what? I'm not the biggest fan of Musaka. All right, but you know what? Pasticcio is what you got to try, Jeff. That's the shit.
Okay.
No, really, pasticcio. It's like a Greek lasagna.
Okay.
French. Fuck the French kiss. It is the Greek kiss, if you know what that is. Anyway, Todd says, hold on. Even my guy Shane Taylor is considered torture. Really, dude?
Your guy? Really? Do you have a Shane Taylor promotion shirt? No, I think not. And by the way, I was wearing it when I ran into O'Shea Edwards, and just by coincidence. Whew, was that good luck?
Shane Taylor. Who's Shane Taylor?
Shane Taylor was the guy who Keith Lee fought Swerve, and they brought in that ridiculously skinny guy with crooked eyes, where he said, your mama wouldn't be proud. Your mama wouldn't let you do this. Mama wouldn't let you do this.
What do
Shane is an African-American gentleman with the build
with
of
a fat ass.
He's got the build of a Samoan. Like he looks like
bigger.
Yeah, like not quite Rikishi, but somewhere between Umaga and Rikishi.
Okay. Yeah, but much bigger than Umaga, even though.
Yeah,
on the back end.
What between means.
Yeah, between. Yeah, that's a good analogy, but yeah, he's kind of underrated though.
Like Samu. His body's like Samu's.
Even bigger, possibly though.
Like Shamu?
Jeff.
No, not Shamu.
No, from the Samoans.
The Samoan SWAT team.
Yeah. Or the head shrinkers. You know the head shrinkers? Do you remember them?
I thought you
head
were saying he had a
shrinkers
body
and-
like Shamu, and I was gonna say like,
No.
that's
no,
kind of
not
rude, Jeff. Gosh.
The Samoan SWAT team, that was the NWA version of them, or WCW
I know
version,
who
sorry.
the fuck Shane Taylor
just in
is. I'm
case.
fucking
Oh.
with you guys.
Wow, I actually fell for it. I actually thought
Hey,
you
my
could have
man
known.
John Kiernan wrote his music.
Oh, there you go.
Cool.
I knew that.
He also wrote Dragon Lee's about a year ago, and now Dragon Lee can't use it anymore because he's in NXT.
Medium Foster, no Taylor is much heavier. Oh, and Facebook user says Shamu pop. Shamu. That's true. That was a good one. Anyway, let's move on, guys. And yes, good man, actually, Medium 5, because he loves Gyro, he loves Pasticho and Musaka. Good man. Anywho, let's move on, because next we get Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, and Sanjay Dutt and Sandam Singh. We're angry at AEW officials. Every time the team makes strides, the referees rain on their parade, screwing them out of gold. They guarantee that one day they will be champions, and I hope that does happen, because what they said was actually quite true. The referees all suck. Let's be honest, especially Rimsberg and Aubrey Edwards. Them two, I mean, did you guys notice, especially Aubrey Edwards on Rampage?
How can you
She
not?
can't. Exactly, that's my point. She could not help herself. Dumb bitch, go in the corner away from the fucking camera. But instead, you have to be right in the center, just standing there like a fucking idiot. Chris, what's wrong with this woman?
Honestly, part of it is I think that she's an egomaniac, and I think that the other part of it is that the people in this company have allowed her to take the time and show herself off, and they've said to her, no, we love that you're doing this, instead of the proper thing, which is, Aubrey, rule number 1 as a referee, be invisible. That's your number 1 rule. Stay out of the fucking way, count to 3. That's it. That's the job. Stay out of the fucking way, count to 3. Be as invisible as you possibly can. Even if you've got to tell somebody, don't do that, you want to be off camera, or as close to off camera as you possibly can be. You want to be invisible. This chick can't get enough of herself on TV, and Rimsberg isn't much better. Listen.
He's bad. He plays video games while fucking, and not looking at the wrestlers. He's looking the other way, playing video games. Literally, his hands start moving all over the place. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that he does a little bit of this sometimes
Fucking
while he's
weird
waiting
guy,
in the
man.
background. These guys got to go back to like number 1, day 1 school of how to be a professional referee. Like, that's the job. Stay out of the way. Be as invisible as possible. Have as small an impact as you possibly can on the wrestling matches. There's a reason why we only know the names of like 4 referees from the history of WWE, and they were all guys who had been there for 40 fucking years. It's because the professional referees in the WWE, with very few exceptions, acted like referees and stayed the fuck out of the way.
100% agree with you. Jeff, I'm sure you agree with what Chris
Well, first
just
of all,
said.
when you said number 1, you know you're a wrestling fan when the first thing you think about is Paul Jones. Number 1, Paul Jones Army. It was Tenjay Khan's birthday would have been earlier this week, which always one of my. I know I couldn't wrestle worth a damn, but I didn't care. He was. I love the Paul Jones Army. All he did was like collect monsters who were just brutes. I agree with everything you said about the referees, about the promo. It was fine. It wasn't bad. I don't know why those 4 guys are always in that dark room. And that's how their promos are, but I guess it sort of works for them. But I just want to point out that this was Britt Baker's gimmick before she turned face.
Is she even a face? I mean, we're not even sure if she even is a baby face at this point.
Let's just go with it. This was her This was her gimmick for the prior years that everybody's conspiring against me.
Please highlight Todd Brantley's last comment.
Oh yeah, I agree with that, and I was about to do that. Michael Roche says Aubrey is an artist. How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you? Don't make me say banger after banger. Yeah. Todd Brantley says Marty Elias, I like him as a ref too, but more importantly, he says Jimmy Corderas should be in charge of the referees in AEW. I agree. Not only is he a good Greek Canadian man, I've had a lot of interactions with him. As a matter of fact, he makes me laugh. Me and him had a thing on Twitter when any dumb marktard that said something stupid towards him would call it the Vlach alert. I don't know if you guys know what Vlacha means. It means pretty much you're a stupid idiot, right? So anyone that said something stupid to him, I would even write it to him. I'd say, Vlach alert, look at this shit. He's the top guy. But yeah, Jimmy Corderas absolutely should be the head official in AEW. But more importantly...
Fan-fucking-tastic referee.
Absolutely. But more importantly, hey, and check out his book, man. That is a great read. I'm telling you, that is well worth it. But would you even want to go to AEW, Chris?
I mean, for the right amount of money. But again, like, that's a situation where, like... it's a situation where you can say, okay, why don't we hire this guy? Great, hire Jimmy Corderas. But then you're going to have to actually back him up when he tells the fucking people, hey, don't do this stupid shit on television. And then when they do it, you're going to have a situation where you can say to them, okay, you're going to go sit at home for 3 weeks now because you're not listening. And if you do it again, you're going to get fired. And I don't think, like, to give Media M5 his credit on this, because he's been saying this the whole show, I don't think that Tony Khan has even I don't even know what to call it. I don't think he has the chutzpah to actually fire anybody. I mean,
I agree.
When was the last time
bro?
He didn't even fire CM Punk, for fuck's sakes. Like,
he's ballless, straight up.
I think he likes how his referees ref. I think he.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
True.
You'd have to allow that. If you wanted to hire somebody like Jimmy Corderas, that's great. But you'd have to give him the backup. And I don't think Tony Khan wants that. I think Tony Khan likes hey, look, everybody's a star over here. Which is,
they made an action figure for Aubrey Edwards.
She's got her own fucking podcast too, Jeff.
Exactly, and she has a back office job. You know, remember she was AKA Don Stevens, or at least the account was. Yeah, I mean,
well, like Todd said,
they're very happy with it. Again. Yeah, see, Don Stevens. There you go. Yeah, I don't think he's got any problem. I mean, they send her out to autograph things. Half of the AEW fans think that she's hot. I'm sure he's happy as a pig in shit with what they're doing. I mean, even if they know it's not good, they're not allowed to acknowledge that. They have to pretend everything's great. We're spending a lot of time talking about referees.
Well, we should in many ways. I mean,
right?
Honestly,
carry on.
I mean, carry on. Don't make
Do
me.
People
put
really
that
think
song.
Aubrey Edwards is hot?
What's wrong with people, man? I mean, she's not the ugliest woman. Don't get me wrong, but like,
she's not ugly, but. She's not hot. I mean, she's
not hot. No.
I mean, neither am I.
You
know, I mean,
well,
I'm not trying to say that.
Right, but anyway, fuck
I don't
her.
think I'd let her play with it. Anyway, moving on.
Well, you wouldn't want Rimsberg to play with it because he'll literally start playing.
Well, no,
Yeah.
Why do you always go there?
Why did the Greek guy go straight to gay? Straight to the gay comments from the Greek. Thank you, Jimmy.
What gay? I never said anything about gay. Anyway,
he thinks he's clever.
I'm always clever, all right, boys. Anyway, Todd even says even Mike Chioda, who they did have at one stage, which is true, but I think there's some sort of heat going on. Right.
Jericho brought him in for one match after WWE released him surprisingly to make it look like AEW's the hero, and then they never brought him back again. So no, everyone remembers that they brought him in. No one remembers that he's never been seen again.
Todd's comment is great. I'm no GQ model, but I don't think Aubrey is not that hot in my own opinion.
I disagree. I think that you are a GQ model.
You're beautiful,
Michael Roche says, I find Evil Dose way more attractive. And you telling me about the gay shit, huh?
Then I take it as a compliment. I'm a handsome man.
Hey, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, shit.
See how you don't need to make things weird,
Let's
Jimmy?
move on from those hacks.
I don't think our fans are hacks.
Over here, look, Jeff, here at channelattitude.com, you can be as free as Tony Khan, sailing in the wind. Put it that way. We don't care which way you roll. As long as you roll with us, That's all that matters.
I
But
truly
anyway,
don't care. And yeah,
I mean, we look. We're only joking around when we talk shit like that. It's just for a laugh. You know what I mean? But Todd says thanks, Jeff, and he gave you a little.
I'm not kidding. I really wouldn't let Aubrey Edwards touch it. Like,
I wasn't talking about Aubrey Edwards for crying out loud. But anyway,
no thanks. No, thank
oh,
you.
anyway, let's move on though, because next it is. God, this is dumb to me, but it's Brody King versus Jake Hager, and Julia Hart was with Brody King. Now, all of us actually automatically knew these two guys are over 6'2" and are both absolute losers. Let's be honest, right? Including Brody King, right? They're both fucking losers, but this finish was so retarded, in my opinion, for one reason. So you get someone coming out to help Jake Hager in Anna Jay, right? Only for Brody King to get the win anyway.
That's how this company does things. Outside interference is not only ineffective, it is the opposite way effective.
Opposite. Literally the opposite effect. Jeff,
and
is he silly or what?
it's extremely silly. And I mean, does this mean we're going to get an Anna JAS versus Julia Hart match? I mean, I know they tried to have Julia Hart as a wrestler a couple of years ago, but then they quickly abandoned that and had her with the Varsity Blondes. And
she's so useless, Jeff.
Listen, whatever
she's
this
not
role
useless.
that she has,
I can find a use for her.
So this is not an Aubrey Edwards position situation.
No. Aubrey Edwards, no. Anna Jay, fuck yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant Julia Hart.
Are you kidding?
Julia Hart,
sure.
fuck yeah, too.
Right,
yeah, I mean, Julia Hart.
No. Yeah. Anna Jay is one of the hottest women probably in the world, period, man.
Whoa, calm down.
No, really.
Wow.
She's naturally just. Well, I haven't seen her without makeup, so I don't know. But nah, come on, not like that. But anyway, she really
Where's
is.
Anna Jay from?
Good question. I'm not sure.
She's from Georgia. I think she's
she's from the south. I knew that. Yeah, you're right.
I think she's from the Atlanta area. That's she went to QT school, which I think is in
Really?
Dunwoody or Rosette. God,
it's somewhere in Georgia, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's around the Atlanta Beltway. It's
so between her and Lacey Evans, the South is well represented.
I think she's hotter than Lacey Evans, even. I mean,
well, according to
you
Disco, the south of the world, Australia, shall rise again.
The South shall rise again.
Shall rise again.
Right.
But I mean, there's been a lot
challenge.
of rising tonight, guys. I mean, Jesus.
I have to be honest, I didn't even notice who won this match. But I mean, I assumed Jake Hager would lose because he always does. But since Brody King lost last week to Garcia, I wasn't sure. So, I mean, but what are we to take from this? Does this mean that the House of Black are faces now because the JS are heels? I mean, the House of Black, they shouldn't be faces. They're spooky, mean, gothic, big, scary people who use witchcraft, mist, and Satanism. What? Huh?
No, they're good Christian boys, Jeff. Come on.
I mean, maybe in real life, but that's not their gimmick. And I mean, and Jericho.
I don't know. Depending on how democratic the place is, that sounds like the kind of people they cheer for. I mean, I'm just saying.
Not in Independence, Missouri.
Well, I don't know what the hell House of Black is because I have no idea. I just don't know. Like, Chris,
also, do you guys remember last week when Daniel Garcia beat Brody King?
Yes.
And then you remember how this week Brody King won against Jake Hager?
Yes.
And do you remember when we first started AEW and they said they weren't going to do 50-50 booking?
Yes.
Because Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, good. That was a good little impression.
Very good.
I don't. Nice. I mean, so we're getting a House of Black JAS feud. So I guess the JAS,
the Jess
all
of Black,
27 of them are vying for the trios titles, which really is only set of titles that makes sense for Triple J Lethal.
I've got a source, and his name is Tzatziki, right? And get what Tzatziki told me.
Can I smell what the Rock is cooking?
Hey, he doesn't really smell what the Rock is cooking, but he smells what TK is cooking because apparently TK is cooking not coke, not meth, but a quad title belt or titles, shall I say? Yes, the quads, not Kevin Nash's quad, but 4 belts. We're apparently going to get the 4 belts, and that's why we got 20 Jazz guys versus the House of Black for the quads.
Please tell me it'll be called the Flat Earth title.
The United Nations of Flat Earth.
Right.
I mean, come on. I mean, that would be brilliant. If he did that, that would pop me, literally.
The Perry Reese map.
I mean, that would be fucking funny. I would actually praise him for that. That's it. We need the hashtag that. Flat Earth title of the world. Whatever that means.
Sound good. 4 corners. 4 corners, 1 tree.
4 corners, 1 tree, 1 seed.
There you
I
go.
mean, it plants it. But anyway, Michael Roach says, cat fight. I'm assuming the Joey Styles voice. And Todd says Anna JAS versus Julia Hart would be good for Anna only. Yes, because Julia Hart just does nothing. I mean, isn't she only 19 years old, as a matter of fact?
I think Julia Hart was only 19 when she first came in 27 years ago.
Well, funny, didn't fans used to complain about WWE always doing 50-50 booking? Just saying.
That's exactly right. So,
right.
I mean, the one thing we know about a feud between Anna Jay and Julia Hart is that one of them will get injured.
That's probably more than likely going to happen. But that is one of the comments of the night right here. Kyrie Irving is going to present the title to the winner. Absolutely, he will. The Flat Earth title of the world. No doubt about it.
He'll probably come back for the Pure Blood Championship too, that they present to the
Moxley?
women's tag team. No, for everybody who doesn't have the jab, they'll present the Pure Blood Championship. That'd be great.
Oh, very, very interesting. Very interesting. Media M5 says Julia Hart's hand job is to do nothing. She is the eye candy of the team. I mean, I just want to say this. She got a stiff shot from Anna Jay into the post, dude. I mean, did you guys catch that? She was too slow to put her hands up, it looked like, man.
No, but she could get a stiff shot if she wanted one.
I've never heard so many penis references in one show until tonight.
I mean,
that is a lie.
During the course of her career, if you actually took Julia Hart's highlights that aren't blowing mist at people, which is a fabulous sentence, she'd look like a human
she
pinata.
spits, not swallows, Jeff.
Okay, she's the one who got knocked off the apron and went too far off the table and basically broke her fall with the guard railing. I mean, that poor little girl has been knocked about. You know,
she did.
Yeah. I mean, like a human pinata if they did her lowlights.
Pinata. Remember that? Oklahoma, WCW.
Sure.
JR.
Right, when they were making fun of JR.
Shout outs to Vinny Roo, just quietly.
Yeah, completely. I mean, that's coming from us, too.
Yeah, I mean, that was funny to me. I mean, it was, bad taste, but funny. But funny. She doesn't have to do much, Media M5 says, except for fuck Sean Dean.
Well, he's been doing a lot in AEW, and Ring of Honor, for the matter.
This is the best comment. Todd says, calling Julia Hart eye candy is like calling Dave Meltzer.
Yeah,
she
does have that underage vibe going on.
Or Billy Barty, a tough guy. That's it. Jesus Christ. I mean, Todd and Media are just killing it. Even Jinder, for that matter. Wait, not Sean Dean, the other brown-skinned guy. I can't remember the name. Fuck. From the Nightmare Factory. Yeah, Sean Dean.
I think he means Lee Johnson.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Lee Johnson. Are they really together? Is that true?
I actually thought it was Sean Dean. So I honestly, honest to God, I don't know who Julia Hart is dating. I mean,
where did that boxer guy go that Cody was going to
go? He go-goed himself back to the UK.
That's right. He was going to a go-go. Wake me up before you
go. Well, he's blind, so I don't know where he's going.
Maybe he didn't either. Maybe he walked right into the House of Black.
I bet you he thought he was going into a boxing fed or some shit, but instead he found out it was professional wrestling.
Well, I'm sure he's probably on payroll with Paige Van Zandt. I mean, remember when they were going to be the celebrity crossovers? You remember Paige Van Zandt, everybody?
Yeah, oh, well,
Dan
she's
Lambert.
great eye candy.
The whole thing. That guy Scorpio Sky. All
Who?
America's top team that they had like 5 of those guys every week there.
America's release team?
Like the guy Paige Van Zandt is with the tattoo.
I know. The MMA fight. I know, don't worry.
Andre something or other. A whole bunch
But
of
more importantly, nothing beats the Cream team. I think they're the number 1 team ever in wrestling. Just quietly. Hey, you know who the Cream team is.
Posse.
Hey, one of them's Canadian, just quietly.
It's possible they grew up with Shane McMahon in Connecticut. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it starts with P and not penis, Jeff.
I don't know. I don't know where you're going. But okay. What's next, Jimmy? What's next on the
Well,
show?
what's next is that yet another wasted talent in Scorpio Sky. That's what was next. But
Entirely.
yeah, entirely. But
Scorpio Sky was not on this show.
Actually, he's been on the show at Hameen Media Group with Jargo, as a matter of fact.
He was not on Rampage.
No, he wasn't. No, he's talking about when we were talking about Scorpio Sky, he's making reference to that.
Yes, but he was talking about him.
Now let's talk about what else happened during Rampage.
Yeah, that'd be swell.
Well, anyway, it wouldn't be a Jericho Appreciation Society match without other members coming in. We did also have Cool Hand Ange and Maynard spot entertainers at doing commentary, and they seem to be happy with the outcome. But what's even funny is we see Swerve Strickland next, deciding when he's finished with Keith Lee. This shit is just got to end now or else. But anyway, he's bringing in more affiliates though, guys, such as Mini-Me Tech 9. Yes, he's named after a gun, yet he's shorter than Rey Mysterio. But anyway, Swerve plans to bring in someone else when Lee won't expect it. And who will that be? Tupac. I mean, shit.
Is Tech 9 a wrestler or another rapper?
He's a rapper. He's a conspiracy rapper, as a matter of fact, Jeff. You might like his lyrics.
Unlikely, but so he's not really bringing in Tech 9 for storyline. It's just to show us again that he's hanging out with rappers that I'm too old to know who they are.
Look how cool I am. Tech 9 comes to my shows.
Yeah.
I mean, remember when people said that Swerve was the best signing? He may well be the best signing, but what the hell's he been doing the last 6 months? And I don't know if he can't work more than once a month, but so more affiliates. So it's not going to be Parker Boudreaux and Trent.
They're out of here, bro. They're gone.
Tech 9 was at my birthday party. Will someone please go to the dance with me?
Chris Whelan says Dan Lambert was great, man. He should be leading guys like Josh Woods or jump to WWE and manage Ronda Rousey and Shane. That's a good idea. Actually, that would be perfect for a Ronda Rousey or Shayna Baszler because, let's be honest, they can't talk for shit.
It's painful when they speak. That actually would be a really solid idea.
Absolutely, that would be that's a good one, Chris. I like that, man. But anyway, yeah, Medium 5 says Tech 9 gonna turn into great value version of No Limit Soldiers WCW. Oh my god. None of those guys were even part of the No Limit Soldiers, really. I mean, but nothing beats the West Texas rednecks. Rap is crap.
Make them say, ooh, na na
na. Hey, that was a hit back in the day.
So
come on.
Who can Swerve bring in? Like, who is out there in the universe? I mean, obviously, if Parker Boudreaux and Trench were his first choices, it could be anyone out there. I mean, who's left? Who's the hottest free agent? Jeff Hardy? I mean, what?
Jeff Hardy. Oh my god.
What the heck? I mean, I don't.
He could bring in Mighty Mouse for MC Mighty Mouse.
I bet it's New Japan guys to set up for the Forbidden Door. What else would it be? I don't know. I don't know.
At this point, there's a lot of Forbidden Doors going on right now, Jeff. But anyway, I digress. But let's move on. It is Taya Valkyrie next versus Layla Gray. Man, I love this, man. It was a squash match. And I got to say, Valkyrie looks good right now, Chris.
Yep. She's great. I love Taya Valkyrie. Give me more. Give me more Taya Valkyrie. Please.
I mean, I actually feel like, do you think, Chris, like I've got a feeling she might actually beat Jade Cargill for that strap, dude. And I'm not talking about a certain strap. I'm talking about the TBS championship.
I don't think there's any chance that anybody who's not an original is doing anything important over the next 6 months in AEW.
You're right.
But Taya is definitely believable. She's big. She's strong. She's a great worker. She can go in the ring. She's got a good delivery on the mic, and she's even good at the funny stuff. She's done some really good, entertaining backstage skits where she's, crazy.
La Loca.
Yeah, La Huera Loca. I love Taya Valkyrie. I hope they use her properly. Even if she doesn't beat Jade Cargill here, I hope that they use her properly and she becomes a real big, serious part of this women's division, because they could use really good workers in this division, and she's a really good worker.
And Jade could use a feud where she loses and faces loss and has to chase for a while. I don't know.
And what about if she loses it and go for the actual AEW Women's Championship next?
Jimmy, cut the shit.
Yeah.
Good point. That's a good point. Very good point.
But Chris, right. This was decent squash. Layla Gray really is better outside the ring than in the ring. And I actually didn't mind the stuff with Smart Mark Sterling. I thought Jade was out there complaining and doing nothing for too long. She should have walked away disgusted right away, because her just standing there made her look sort of weak, like she's afraid to go in there and do something, which was not her character at all. I was worried, hoping that her boobs were going to pop out of that pink thing that was pushing them down way too low and couldn't have possibly been comfortable. So again, I was worried. Did that sound
worried?
I
Jeff,
don't know why.
Worried.
Well, I don't think that I was really worried. I think that I maybe was hoping. I was worried.
Fair enough.
See, you understand what I was doing there, Jambalaya?
I think so.
He doesn't understand because it wasn't a gay joke. Keep going,
what?
Jeff.
All right.
What are you trying to say? That I'm gay?
Nothing. He's not saying anything at all.
Wow.
I mean, I didn't know cease and desist looks like that. I didn't know they had big giant logos that took up half a page.
Well, you know what's funny? You know what's going to happen. This is setting up, and you're right, Chris. Taya Valkyrie will lose, and I'll tell you guys why. They're going to have a stipulation come that match, if it's at Double or Nothing and whatnot, where she can't use the Jaded, right? And then that's how she's going to lose.
Right. And that's because Jade can only do that one move, and Taya Valkyrie can do lots of moves.
Yeah, indeed. You know what I love about Taya Valkyrie, though? Even though she comes out all happy and whatever, she looks like she could just snap and kick the fuck out of you. And I'm talking about kicking the fuck out of a bloke. I can see her literally pushing John Morrison around at home. 100%.
See,
I bet you rent that movie.
Yeah. No, but really, I'm being serious. I think she would abuse him. Okay. Not like that, Jeff. Stop thinking dirty, man. I'm talking about literally. I'm talking about literally physically abusing him, not his dick.
Well, that is physically.
Don't make me play Let's Get Physical.
Taya Valkyrie is fantastic, and I hope that they give her a serious push, even if she doesn't beat Jade, which I think she probably should. But yeah.
Well, I'm sure she gives John Morrison a serious push, Chris. Yeah.
Just move on.
Jimmy,
get fucked, Chris. Get the fuck out of here, both of you. You motherfuckers are the ones that keep bringing this shit up. But
no, it's not.
If Jimmy brings it up, it's like, just cut the shit, Jimmy. Cut the shit. Well, anyways, let's cut the shit, because after that... Anyway, let's move on, because next we get the Kingdom versus the Acclaimed. Sorry. And, why?
Why?
Anyone? Why are we getting this? I thought there was going to be no more Ring of Honor, Jeff, in AEW. This is your fault. You reported that.
I don't know what to say. I mean, and Maria Kanellis-Bennett, you look great for a 40-year-old woman, but you shouldn't be wearing half shirts.
Cut the shit.
No more halter
Put your pants on, girl.
Yeah, it's just
Vale Pantalonia. You're Greek.
mean,
you should
I
understand what
realize
I'm
I'm
saying.
no one to talk, and that's why I'm not wearing a halter top. Because I don't want to look like Festus.
And don't get me wrong, guys. She doesn't
Ralph.
have the worst body. It's not like she's got the worst body, but
No,
damn it.
she's in terrific shape for a woman of her
Right.
age and has 2 or 3 kids. Yes, no, wonderful. Still, it's not that good for TV.
It's out of shape, right? Yeah, it's out
And
of,
I meant
yeah,
Ralph,
not
it's
for
not
telly.
Festus. I'm sorry. I had my usses confused.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, look, girl, you're hot, sort of. Like, you're good for your age, but come on, woman, put some pants on. Chris, do you agree with us?
I'd still let her play with it a lot
Of
earlier.
course,
than
no,
Aubrey
absolutely.
Edwards, so.
Oh, no,
that's not
easily.
really
Are you
fun.
kidding me? That's not even a question, exactly. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is, get some pants. So anyway, this is the main event, and there's a lot of shenanigans going on here. But I will say this: Max Caster's promo at the start of the match was quite good. I mean, calling Bennett a cuck, and he's making reference to his WWE days when he was known as Mike Kanellis. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're a cuck, dude. I'm sorry.
When and her best line in her entire 17-year career is when she said, "I'm going to kick you in the vagina."
Yeah. You know what, man? It wasn't that gimmick wasn't too bad in WWE. If they weren't such clowns in the back, they probably could have kept their jobs. But unfortunately for them, they were just idiots. You know what I'm saying?
Clowns, but
Right,
and now
absolutely.
they're being clowned. I mean, they're in the low card and whatever, but they're working 2 promotions. Good for them. Listen, match wasn't awful. They're an okay team, but it's hard to take them seriously as a Ring of Honor contender when all we do is see them lose on AEW. And the whole thing with Top Flight coming out to escort Maria Kanellis' dummies. I mean, why would she
dumb.
leave? Because did she think that they were going to hit her?
I have no idea, man.
I mean, did she think Billy Gunn was going to hit her? I mean, you could see Billy Gunn, because he's 59 and doesn't give
he'd
a
be
fuck.
like,
It's
suck it, suck
he
it.
could just
That's
pick
what
her
he'd
up
be
and
doing.
do a fireman carry out. But
Yeah.
Top Flight, they got to respect their elders. Like she should have at least slapped them, and then they should have.
She's
done
old
the-
enough to be their mothers. What are you talking about?
She might be their mothers. Those might be Bennett's
maybe.
kids. I don't know.
Well, Chris, what the hell's going on here, man?
This is just more of TK trying to use the time that he's told us we don't have to pay attention to other shows. We don't have to pay attention to what's going on online. We don't have to pay attention to any of those things. But we do apparently have to pay attention to Ring of Honor so that we understand what's going on TV. And I don't care. I'm very glad that you guys are reviewing Ring of Honor, and of course it's a noble deed that you guys are doing for Channel Attitude, and it's something that's very necessary, and I hope that you guys have all the success in the world doing it, but I'm not
bad,
fucking
dude.
watching Ring of Honor.
It is the longest
Fuck
2
that
hours
show.
in professional wrestling, bro. I kid you not.
Fuck that show. I'm not watching. It's ridiculous to even expect somebody to watch that.
It's
And
like the last hour of Raw long.
it's, yeah.
Even worse
it's
than
brutal.
that, I dare say.
It's brutal, and like, okay, if you're trying to build guys, then build them. Don't bury them. The Kingdom because so far the Kingdom have done nothing but come in, get their ass kicked, come in, get eliminated from a battle royal, and then come in and lose. So
Well, that's why the Kingdom come.
I mean, are they meant to be taken seriously in Ring of Honor? Because so far,
Apparently.
if I turned on Ring of Honor and saw the Kingdom, I'd go, "Oh, these are these little fucking weirdos who have the old lady escort them to the ring and then lose all the time."
Is Maria actually in her 40s yet, Jeff? She would be, right?
I think she's 40. I think she's 40 on the nose.
Okay. Well, anyway, you're right, Chris. As a matter
I think
of
her
fact,
nose might not be 40.
But no, in all seriousness, apparently in Ring of Honor they are a big deal. As a matter of fact, they're feuding with AEW's, Ring of Honor's own Top Flight.
Right.
Sorry,
And
can
that's
you
why
highlight
they're
podcast
both
on
on AEW's Rampage.
For FYI, Chris, I already did highlight that comment. You just didn't
I know.
notice it.
No, I did notice
well.
it. I just wanted you to do it again because
Well, I don't know what he's
Okay.
thanking me for nothing, and I don't know which answer Chris gave that was the right one. I know Chris doesn't care because he thinks they're all right. But
I wouldn't say them if I thought they were wrong, Jeff.
that was a fair point.
I'm getting Bret Hart vibes right now, Chris.
Next week, you're going to see a picture of me up behind me. Just a big portrait
Please.
of me.
Oh, I hope you do that. That'll be fucking brilliant. That'll be awesome. But anyway, see, we do crap on Bret Hart, even though we're two of the biggest marks for Bret Hart. But it's true.
Greatest
It is
wrestler
what
of
it
all
is.
time. Also
Biggest
hilariously in love with himself. Whatever.
That's so fucking true.
Well,
Man.
success, guys, because we've managed to turn an hour-long show into an hour-and-a-half review show. So
Hey.
there we go. Well,
That's a good thing, man. Because otherwise, we'll be here for 20 minutes and out. I'm telling you.
I
I'm
don't
telling
know
you
why
now.
you think that's a bad thing, but okay.
No. Look, we give because people pay $5 to hear our shit, man.
No,
We
people
gotta
pay
give
$5
the
for
people what they
entire
want.
Suite of shows they get behind the paywall at HMG.
Not all the shows, just the HMG ones, as a matter of fact.
Well, that's why I said HMG.
Right.
No, they pay $5 a month to hear me and all of my wonderful comments because I'm right and I deserve a portrait of myself. That's
Absolutely agree 100%. That's the right answer. Chris has
For his
the correct
birthday?
answer.
yeah.
I liked
For
it
his
again.
birthday, we got to do this. Like, blow up and get a picture of him, make it into a poster, and send it off to Canada.
What? Just create him on WWE 2K and then blow it up and send it to him, and he can go to
You know what, Chris? I might do
FedEx
that.
place or Kinko's or whatever, and they'll blow it up poster size for him.
You know what, man? I'm going to create the PWC. I'm even going to put advertisement, the PWC logo in the middle of the ring.
Lord,
The Pro Wrestling Coalition is going to be a promotion.
That's right.
Look out for that.
The more steps you give it, the less likely it is to happen. But okay.
You want to make a bet? I made Bin Hamin. No shit. Before we go, I made Bin, GGP, and Stevie Richards. I'm telling you now, I made the best versions out of anybody.
I know, but you're
And
afraid
we've
of
posted
them.
it. No,
You
dude.
take us for granted.
You think I'm joking? If I showed you pictures, you will go crazy. You
No,
won't
your
believe
GGP
it.
really was great.
GGP looked exactly to a T like GGP. Even Bin and Stevie, man. I mean, yeah, but that was back in 2019. I'm due to do it now again, and they loved it. They were telling me exactly what to do and like no shit, step by step. It's pretty funny. Oh, and shout out to Stevie Richards, man. Did you
get
guys
better.
check out the? Yeah, I mean, that got me emotional. I'm not gonna lie, man. Watching that video, I mean, that was tough.
Is there a
seeing
new
him.
one or the one from a couple weeks ago?
This is the one where he's back at home last week. It was last week's video.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Did you
I saw
see that? Yeah, I don't think you did, man. You should check it out because it's strong. It's very touching and pretty full on. And I just want to say, man, we're just happy that you're back home, and hopefully, things are on the up for you, man. Because you explaining what was going on, man, that was tough. I'm not gonna lie. And get better soon, and hurry up and get back here on channelattitude.com, man, because we miss you.
Well, now you brought it up. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit, a summary of what's going on in case they haven't seen the video?
I'm pretty sure most of these people, in the chat have seen the video. I mean, I've even been tempted to even play,
All right. Well, let's just
snippets
continue to talk about the video without saying what was actually in it. But okay.
Well, he was just explaining about what was wrong with him, like what.
Yes. Why don't
that
you
was
just
it.
tell us what he said?
Well, they don't exactly know the full diagnosis. All they've done now is pump him through with antibiotics. He's still in a lot of pain, and it's just day by day right now until he officially finds out exactly what was wrong. But apparently, it was an infection that went through his body and started touching his spine, and that's what was causing all the pain.
Sure.
And it really ate him up, man. And put it this way, he put life in perspective for him, man. He thought at one stage, if it wasn't for his wife, put it that way, he doesn't know if he would have still been here. And on top of that, he's very grateful for everybody, reaching out to him. And yeah.
Well,
I mean,
best of luck, best wishes, speedy recovery.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
One of the true good guys in the world of professional wrestling. So get
nice,
better.
even,
Get better soon, Stevie.
Absolutely. Get better soon, man. But anyway, I think we can take it home now, guys. But before we do, Todd says, I don't think the world is ready for the PWC wrestling promotion. Pro Wrestling Coalition, baby. Look out for it on WWE 2K23. I'm telling you. I mean, it writes itself. PWC. Heck, we should do GM mode with that. We'll book even better than TK. We should book AEW on the video game, Chris.
That's a very
I'm
low
telling you.
bar.
I'm telling you now.
Even better than TK. Wow.
No, the game is actually, as a matter of fact, Chris, you know, the last time we spoke
We're going to
about
play
it-
Limbo. We're starting the stick at 7 feet.
Well, you know, if you've got any big guys, Andre the Giant in AEW would be a total loser. Believe me. He'd be like, oh,
He'd never win a match.
he'll never win a match. Rey Mysterio would be champion. Absolutely. And would beat all the big guys in that promotion. But anyway, enough of that crap. Let's take it home. And Chris, I'll start with you, my friend. Tell them where they can find you, man.
Well, you can find me on Twitter. I'm at ChrisAmbs1. You can listen to me, or I guess read me, talk shit about politics and pro wrestling and just kind of whatever comes to my thoughts. Lately, I've been asking the question every day, did they arrest him yet? Because people keep telling me that they're going to arrest the former president, and they keep not arresting the former president, and I keep thinking I'd really like to see them arrest the former president. Not because I particularly think that they should arrest him, but I'm just really excited to see everyone's reaction. I think it'll be a lot of fun for me as a Canadian watching the world burn from up north. Just sort of looking down at everyone and watching the hilarity that ensues when they do arrest him. So, again, you can follow me along on my Did They Arrest Him watch. You can hear me on the PWC on all of our shows. Not all of our shows, but the good ones anyway. And you can see me, you can listen to me on channelattitude.com right here. The HMG. You can find me on Facebook. I am Christopher Ambs. Just look for this beautiful face. One caveat: if you're holding a wrestling belt in your picture, I'm not adding you. I won't be your friend. So don't do that. It's weird. That's basically where you can find me.
Oh, nice. Jeff, tell them where they can find you, man.
On Twitter at IcarusFellMD. The shows that you don't find me on the PWC and on Me Media Group, Powering Channel Attitude, which you would already know from me, and you've already heard about the PWC from Chris, and you will again from Jimmy. Is Hammerlock Hangover, which is released every 2 weeks with my other tag team partner from a different promotion, Esteban Pineapple, sorry, I botched that. And then my non-wrestling podcast, Garden of Doom, we've made reference to it already a couple times this show, and Garden Views, its sister show. But there's going to be, I'm going to double up on Garden of Doom probably for the next 3 weeks, just because I have been over-recording. And there's no sign of me stopping. The longer La Sacara is away, the more extra shows I'll be doing, including recording one. Well, it's not going to be until Halloween, but The Ghost of New Orleans with, yes, my guest's name is actually Bloody Mary.
Really?
Sweet.
Yeah.
But I bet that guest isn't as cool as the guest that you had today on Garden of Doom.
Listen, I don't ask me to take sides, especially when someone is named Bloody Mary.
I wonder why. Is it because she...
Stop it.
How many times has she been on the show, Jeff? How many times?
This will be a first.
All right, I am a 6-time guest on the Garden of Doom.
You are the 6th time.
He's the devil himself, Jeff. 6 times.
That's right. He is the beast.
The beast
He's the Garden of
incarnate.
Doom beast.
Yeah.
Get
You
a
should
portrait
come on
of
as
me
the
with
beast,
horns.
Chris Ambs.
Just like naked with my muscles rippling and horns in the background. Just right
I already have it prepared.
Anyway, if you want to follow me, you can at DJ Mass Effects, and also you can follow us at the PWC Network, which is on Twitter. Also, like and subscribe right here at channelattitude.com, where for $5 you not only get to see us and hear us, but you get to hear and see everybody else, like Ben Amin, Stevie Richards, Big Ray Hernandez, Al Snow, April Hunter, The Vet, you name it, they're all there right here on channelattitude.com. Chris, was there something you need to say?
Yeah, just give this comment from Media M5 a look, and just let them know what you think.
I will talk to you off the air, Media, just quietly. But anyway, and also like and subscribe at the pwcnetwork.podbean.com, where, like the other cool fellas just said, you can find all our shows, and also at hameenmediagroup.podbean.com, where you will find all our affiliate shows, including Jeff's Garden of Doom, right there at hameenmediagroup.podbean.com. In saying that, I'm Jimmy T. That's the Beast himself, Chris Ambs, 6 times.
Ole!
Gardener of Doom, ole indeed. And that is the evil man himself, Jeff Lippman. And you've been listening and watching the HMG Rampage Un Caged show right here on channelattitude.com. And we're out. Ole!
Ole!
Stay evil, my friends.